What's good, YouTube? GZTV. I really wish I could make more videos for you guys on the channel anymore. At least I'm trying to do daily uploads. We don't do the news segment anymore. We do it on stream. So every night at 10 o'clock, I'll be on, streaming. I streamed last night till about 2:30. I streamed from 10 to 2:30, so it was a pretty fire stream. It's 2.5 hours. It was pretty lit. I played some Rust. I reacted. I don't think I'm gonna play Rust that much anymore. I might just be playing like Fortnite, Rocket League, all the games in between, because I'm kind of tired of Rust right now. I get locked out of our base every fucking day. And I have a decent amount of supporters on Twitch. I only have 11 followers, to be fair with you, but it's decent. We got some of my cousin's friends, showing some support, so it's awesome. I'm trying to find a cool way to like display the chat on the screen, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Breaking Bad. By the way, this Friday, Ken Carson album. I'm gonna be doing a live album reaction. People are loud as fuck upstairs, so I apologize. You guys know the deal with that, though. My family, man. In a flashback, so pretty much we're going to go through the plot, we're going to talk about the critical reception of it, and then we're going to be done here. In a flashback, Jesse and Jane Margolis visit the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum and view her painting, My Last Door. So we didn't know what happened when they went to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum, and Breaking Bad's like, you might as well put a little bit more filler in there after a bottle episode. Let's just do this. The two debate the meaning of the painting before Jane concludes that O'Keeffe was simply trying to make a good feeling last. And that kind of relates to their relationship. It's kind of like a life lesson. Yeah, and she kind of foreshadows her death. In the present, Hank Schrader is frustrated with his physical therapy. I'm sure with the tough guy persona, he kind of hates being in this vulnerable state. Marie gives Skylar White the therapy bill to pay, as I previously discussed, which the Whites are more than willing to pay it. Walt attempts to pay with his drug money, but Skylar insists the source must be unimpeachable. So Skylar doesn't trust this process of Walt just taking hunks of cash and throwing it at the government, throwing it at the hospital. So she's like, well, it must be lawful, it must look legal. Walt takes her to meet Saul, who laundered his money in the past, so Skylar gets to meet Saul. This is a pretty big moment in the series. I feel like it's going to start a business relationship between Skylar and Saul, possibly. Skylar's put off by his flippant personality and a scheme to buy a laser tag facility. I mean, he's been doing this for a lot of years, Skylar. I would trust the guy. I'm going to be honest. He knows what he's doing, I think. Instead, she suggests a more believable business investment, the car wash where Walt previously worked, which I think is a pretty good idea. It is probably better than the laser tag thing. Then again, I guess Saul hasn't found Walt a place to invest in with this money, I guess. Saul objects as the owner of the laser tag facility would ask no questions about the deal, while the car wash owner, Bogdan Woollynuts, is an unknown factor. So Saul knows his shit. Saul knows all the business partners. He knows the ways of their workings. He knows it all. I mean, you gotta love Saul. Better call Saul. He's there for Walt all the time. He knows a lot of stuff about business, about the economy, about all these sort of things. So I think he's very knowledgeable. I think he knows what he's doing. Skylar offers to help launder the money by managing the car wash. So Skylar offers to literally give up her job with Beneke, who she's had an affair with, to manage a car wash. I don't know. Maybe she's not going to give up the job. Maybe she's going to work at it full part-time. I don't know. She's willing to sacrifice that just to get the car wash to work. Walt worries that this would make her liable for his actions, but she reveals she never signed the divorce papers and, if married, cannot be made to testify against him. Never made the divorce papers. That's a big plot twist. Skylar never got around to turning in the papers. I'm sure Walt is confused, maybe angry about this, because he's been treating her like they've been divorced, and this whole time they are still married, which is crazy. Even after everything that's happened, even her affairs, they still remained intact as a relationship. Meanwhile, Walt warns Jesse about skimming some of their meth products, which he continues to deny doing. So Walt is trying to get on Jesse's case. Jesse keeps stealing product. He actually steals product. I mean, he gives it to his friends and stuff like that. So he's doing it. We've caught him doing it. Jesse takes what he has stolen to a Narcotics Anonymous meeting to give to Badger Mayhew and Skinny Pete to help peddle. So he's pretty much starting a side hustle with a big meth company, which is kind of crazy. I don't know why he's not appreciative of his $1.5 million he's getting in 3 months, but yeah, the two say they cannot bring themselves to sell meth to recovering addicts, so Jesse shows them how easily it is by striking up a conversation with Andrea Contillo, a newcomer to the meetings. And that relationship's going to flourish into something later on in this episode. We'll get into that. I understand, Pete and Badger not wanting to sell to recovering addicts. I think it's kind of fucked up. I think it's twisted, but I don't think Jesse really has the heart to feel sympathy for people anymore. He's gone through too much to feel sympathy. He soon becomes attached to Andrea while surreptitiously attempting to sell her drugs. So it's kind of weird. He's using her to sell drugs, but at the same time, he actually kind of likes her. Andrea invites him to her home, where Jesse discovers she has a son, Brock. So Jesse's kind of turned off. From him, Jesse learns that she has a younger brother named Tomas, although she initially refuses to talk about him. And you guys will find about Tomas later and how he plays a role in Jesse's drug trade. It's kind of crazy. Alright. Let's go. Later, Andrew suggests they use methamphetamine, but Jesse declines now that he knows she has a child, and the two argue. So Jesse's like, I get both sides of the argument. Andrew thinks Jesse's like offending her by saying, oh, I can't take care of my son, but Jesse has a point. I mean, if you have a kid, using meth is not the smartest thing, especially with how young Brock is. I think he's like 6 in the show. And Andrea insists she wants to avoid having Brock suffer from the same fate as Tomas, who, as part of an initiation to a local drug gang, shot a rival dealer at a street corner. This is the big moment this is one of the craziest moments in the episode. Jesse recognizes that the murder was that of Combo a few months prior. So Jesse has a little more information about the people that killed Combo. He's going to want to spin the block on these guys. But anyways, Gus invites Walt to his house for a private dinner, telling Walt that he made many mistakes when he first began working in the drug business, trying to kind of give Walt some advice, showing his street wisdom. This is kind of weird that Gus invited Walt, but they talked about some stuff. He regrets that he did not have a mentor and warns Walt never to make the same mistake twice. I mean, I'm sure Walt knows this by now, but it's still pretty helpful. The next day, Jesse travels to the corner where Combo was killed. So he's trying to find these guys. He's like, I'm going to fuck you guys up. And it's not going to work, obviously, because this gang is like really prolific and they know what they're doing. He finds Tomas there and confirms that not only is he working for a drug gang, but the gang works for Gus, peddling the blue meth that he and Walt are making. That's crazy. It really is crazy. Jesse quietly walks away enraged. So pretty much Gus is scamming some people. He's using a gang to go out and scam people. We're kind of learning about some of the... We finally start to learn, and I feel like we're going to get more on this. We're finally starting to learn who is actually distributing drugs from... For Gus. Who's selling them. You know what I mean? People saw this as a more... It's a more popular episode than Fly. I don't know how. I mean, last episode it was boring to the normal viewer. I would say it's a high 8 out of 10. Breaking Bad has been one of the few shows on television to have amazing story arcs and characters, not just in each episode, but in the series as a whole. This episode was a great example of this. I would say it's a low A rating, high B, whatever you want to say. It's become increasingly obvious this season how quickly Breaking Bad has decided to move through its starting premises. So, wait, I don't know what he means by that. It's really not one of the best episodes, by the way. I wouldn't call this one of the best episodes. It's probably in the worst half, if I'm being honest with you. Coming off of the Fly episode. I mean, it might be just as good as the Fly episode, but the thing is we're ranking these episodes based on what each episode's kind of doing. And shout out to The Ringer, they're trying to kind of give me some insight in how these episodes compare to the rest of the series. I wonder what he means by starting premises. Are we So I feel like what he's saying is Breaking Bad really wants to branch off from the core that is Breaking Bad, and wants to kind of branch off and kind of talk about different storylines, how they connect. You know, Tomas and Andre, how they connect to Combo's death, and that connects to Jesse ultimately. You know, Skylar meeting Saul Goodman. I mean, that's something we never expected in the original version of the show. We never would have expected that to happen. But look at where we are. Skylar's meeting with Saul. She wants to do business. She's more than willing to do it at the beginning, she just wanted to take care of her family. But yeah, that's going to do it. I got to talk about the boys, and then, yeah. That's probably it for YouTube for the day, but I don't think I'm gonna have YouTube videos tomorrow. Actually, I can't think of anything to make. I can't think of any videos to make. I mean, go to my Twitch. I'm primarily a Twitch streamer now. I kind of switched my platforms, and I'm happy I did, because you get 4 hours of nonstop content. Me playing Rust. I mean, sometimes it's kind of boring on there, but I played a lot of games. So yeah,